All right. Proper salutations. What? Nice. Wait. Take two. Hello. Proper salutations from White Bread Art. Welcome. Today, in this pre Halloweeny setting, actually, my walls are always blank, so whatever. I don't celebrate. I'm no fun. Anyways, we have been working. Yeah, I know this is like awful beginning. But anyways, we have a client who does really creepy stuff, audio visually creepy stuff. Anyways, he's like on the dark side of the internet, um, and he she I don't know, they sometimes order us to do artwork for them. So this one is going to be, I'm supposing, one of the upcoming songs that he does, they do, whatever. And I'm going to be editing this piece a little bit. So this was drawn on watercolor paper with watercolor in ink. So all of this, yeah, I know I'm talking about something you can't even see it. Um, Allow me just to load it for a moment because this is like a 42, almost a 43 megabyte file. It's pretty big. That I'm going to be working on. I don't know how much. I'm not going to be doing a lot of work with the art. I think I might just do some basic cleanup. Sorry, what the hell is taking so long? Computer, computer. No, you're doing well. All right, I understand. It's 43 megs. It's opening. It's taking its sweet ass time. All right. Let me just show it to you first, so you understand what I'm talking about. All right, so I'm gonna share the screen in a second with you, and I am working on this. I will be, I guess, cleaning up, editing this weird piece. So obviously, you can see, Brad dude. Hello, what's up? Welcome. Working on a creepy piece of art here. Clearly, slightly occult. Slightly is obviously an understatement. Um, there is some commentary on the way our lives are being um, rigged by a certain echelon, upper echelon of people, and they throw us in this game, right? We sign contracts, and we play this game of chess, right? There's always an opponent. We're always believed to think that we're on the good team, they're on the bad team, whatever side you're on. So this like phony duality is introduced. So a lot of occult stuff going on. Obviously, the sun and the moon being two sides of the same coin, and also portals and whatever. You can go down the occult, ritualistic rabbit hole here. The checkered board, again, duality, false duality of white and black, good and bad, evil, etc. Then there is this interesting character. mm, So it does look a little bit um, bit blurrier than I remember it to be, and I wonder if the scanner dropped the ball or maybe not. But I am seeing sharper edges, and then this feels a little blurry. It's not that important. I'm really zoomed in, and I will be fixing all of this a little bit, right? Mostly in Lightroom type program. Um, Bruh dude says, I feel like I'm looking at a logo of a cult. I like it. Thank you. It is kind of like going in that direction, I think. I was not explained. I was just given the art to edit, kind of prepare, digitize, and everything. Um, but yes, so I kind of like how the author chose the birds and the cage. So there's this like obviously shouled individual with no face. We don't know what's behind it. There's some force behind it. It's all hidden from us, and is being worked in the shadow. There's this hollow cage going on here. I like how the birds are reminiscent of the Twitter bird. I don't know if it's intentional or not, but it's kind of funny that that was chosen. All right, now there's also this center that obviously is an eye, the eye of G, and also it is revealing some sort of spiral. It's what's a good English word for that? It's kind of like vibrating, spiraling, slithering, withering. What's the word? What's a snake does? It's like slithering like a snake, kind of unraveling. And it's hypnotic too, right? Whenever you attend a hypnosis session, something like this is used on you, and also black and white. So something about these colors and the combinations of them, it's like equal parts of white and black, and then hypnosis, and uh, all subliminally, on a neurological level, subconscious level, influences us. All right. Um, what else is there to say? So, and also I like how there's this like hollow cage chest, like guy has nothing in him of, I don't know, substance, light, spirit. It's just all either hidden matter or empty darkness going on here, and we don't really know what's going on behind the shadows and the cage. He's bound by the emptiness. He is hypnotizing us and using the social media to channel, one of the avenues to channel the hypnosis. Uh, I don't know. Does that make sense? Anyone can interpret it in their own way. And then also, sun and moon in the occult, in one of the interpretations, right? These are portals, and supposedly when you die, you go through the portal of the moonlight, and the light that you supposedly see, and a lot of people with near death experience. I watch these people. It's rather interesting. There's these like compilations of interviews of people who had near death experiences, NDEs, I think is for short. They call it, and they all talk about how almost all of them, for the exception of like very few, um, when they died, first of all, they described this like magnetic, kind of like they're being ushered into something, like they're being sucked into this like lightness, and then also the light is like this cool light as opposed to obviously warm light. Oops, got away from me there. Doesn't want me to explain it. I'll tell you about the dream later on too. All of this is messing with me, trying to stop me from doing this. Anyways, so they all describe this like cool light that they're being sucked into. Rather interesting information in general, because it's not something written scientifically in a book. It's not something that's been edited. It's actually real experiences of people who are just sharing what they saw. And the interesting point in all of this is that it's different people, strangers that's never met in their entire lives from different parts of the world, seem to be describing a very similar process of being kind of like sucked into this light, and also how you're greeted with all these people, not people, right? Entities, energetic entities that are glowing, and also you get to see all your loved ones, and you are being showered with love. It's kind of like love bombing, almost. It feels like a lot of people describe it as. So you kind of like get high on your own joy of seeing all these souls that been in your life before, that you are emotionally attaching pleasant, positive memories. So it's like kind of already manipulative. There is also a sphere of internet, which is a really tiny niche that believes that that afterlife experience, that initial afterlife experience where you're being love bombed and greeted, and some people describe it as maybe close to being on heroin. Like you just feel no pain, no sadness. Everything is just like you're on pillows on cloud nine, right? It's just like pleasantness and joy. I should start like editing, right? Just like yapping and yapping and yapping. Who cares? Anyways, well, let's start with cropping, and I'll keep yakking along to what I'm saying. And so some people describe it as almost manipulative, where they're being greeted, brought to some place, love bombed. So, of course, you're feeling great as a soul. Like you just died. It's kind of traumatic, especially if it's a rapid, unexpected accident, right? It's not like you just been sick for a prolonged period of times and now you died and you kind of been expecting. A lot of these people that were in car crashes or something and they suddenly died or had this near death experience, it's traumatic. It's shocking, right? Suddenly you're being just thrown out of your body and sucked into something. And there's all these people who are dead and you know it and you love them. And now they're all like, hey, come in here. So, and everyone is trying to kind of like, uh, as described in these experiences, to try to hustle you um, into the light. But before you get there, first you're being loved, then you're being judged. Uh, like some judge comes along or some soul counselor, advisor. I don't know. I was thinking about leaving. See how you can see the grayness. That's the watercolor paper. Or maybe I will just digitize and make it kind of like more crisp. Like I said, I don't really want to add. This is like, yeah, I'm just gonna edit it and prepare it as a final product. But anyways, that was a little side note there. And then you're being escorted to this like room, and then people are starting to show you the errors of your ways on Earth, and start kind of like guilting you. So if any one of you is vaguely or superficially familiar with methodologies that are used in basic programming or mind control, there are certain steps that are taken in order to fragment your personality and disassociate you from yourself, or not dehumanize you, but that can also come later. But create this derealization of you and your association with yourself. So they're kind of like fragmenting that. And love bombing is one of the first steps that they do, appealing to your emotional responses of positivity. Oops, that was a little, I should probably just grab a brush. Um, but let me see. And then while you're already kind of like drugged, which you can say, being high on joy and everything, have this like endorphin high, um, does put you in a certain suggestive position, I think, where you're more susceptible to what's coming next because now you're relaxed and open and your irises are diluted. Of course, I'm talking about a human. These are souls in a different realm, and I've never had a near-death experience. This is just something, I'm telling you what I heard from these other people who had experienced it. And so then they're kind of mm, go on this guilt trip where there's this soul counselor or something. It's like it's weird. It sounds bureaucratic if you ask me. It's like, wait a second, as above, so below. It's like you're getting out of one bureaucracy into another bureaucracy. Let me just make sure my brushes are all right. All right, there we go. So and go back here. And shouldn't it be RGB? Thanks. Yes. All right. Sorry, talking to myself and my computer. Anyways, and then you're are taken on this guilt trip where you're told, you could have been better here, could have done better there. Why did you say this here? So now they're starting to appeal to your, now that you're open and vulnerable and susceptible. They're starting to put these guilt trip ideas or memories. And first of all, you don't even quite sure if those are true memories, if they're verifiable. What if there are some false memories? But that's just me. Yeah, you can say I'm paranoid, but I'd be like, wait, 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 wait. You're putting something in my head, and I'm a spirit, and I'm vulnerable, and I just died, and I just saw my relatives. And are they my relatives? Shouldn't they all be reincarnated? Is like another thing. It's like, who are these people pretending to be people that I know, and making me feel all bubbly inside? Again, it's like not my experience, but from all these compilations of interviews and commentary of people who's gone through this. Um, so now you're being judged, and of course you feel crummy, right? Uh, well, we love you anyways. You did all right, but there is room for improvement. So why not just put on your boots and strap in, and we'll send you back on Earth, and you're gonna have to fix all of those mistakes, advance spiritually, be a better soul next time. But first, we're going to erase all your memory. It makes me always think of Men in Black. Men in Black, remember when they had a pen or whatever that was on the memory eraser light? Another interesting thing, it was kind of like a strobe like flash of light, and bam, and all your memories erased. Now that makes perfect sense if you're going back to fix all your erroneous behavior and just be a better soul, but you don't remember anything, and you don't remember what you did and why you did it, and for in the lesson that was perhaps learned is unlearned now, right? So now you have to remember it all over again, and in order to remember it, you have to make mistakes, and then you're going to be judged on these mistakes. It's just like this eight loop of infinity thing that you're stuck on, what, what it seems like to me. All right, am I being too particular? I don't think I need to go that far into it. Now, what I'm wondering is that I probably shouldn't drop any paint anywhere. I think I'm just going to go um, into my Lightroom alternative program and try to just see what I can do from within that program. All right. So you see how what I just told you, it sounds a little kind of scammy, right? And I'm not saying it is, but it just certainly sounds like it. Where for whatever reason you are manipulated in all these different ways in order to be brought back here again, but with a memory wipe, and do better next time, right? But how do you know? Like, you don't come with a manual on how to do better. All right, so let me just crank a few knobs, really, is all I can do, because, like I said, I don't want to like change it too much. I'm not committing to anything. I just want to make it, if this is going to be the visual art for the audio, dark, creepy audio that they do, and it's going to be on the web, I'm just going to accentuate it all, bring out, the strengths, hide the weaknesses. I don't see that many weaknesses. I just think it needs a little more contrast and clarity, just to have it sharp, sharp in your view, um, and maybe be more sucked in. Obviously, there is a reason why in advertising everything is the colors are so saturated and clear and sharp and stabbing you with a fork in the eye. It's all done intentionally. All right. This is what it would look like, black and white, gray. Not bad, but obviously I'm not going to change any of that. Um, we'll see. Obviously, don't want to go too fruity either. I do want to see the pink is just too bubble gum. I do want to keep it more grim. So what I can do is make it a little grayer, less saturated, but bring out the vibrance. Um, and let me see. What did I just? Ah, jeez. Wait. All right, never mind. Um, just do it all over again because I'm a blonde. All right. So, but not so saturated on those bubblegum pink. I'm almost wondering if I should go into um yeah, just make the black blacker. Does that make sense? Um all right. And the highlights, bringing down the highlights, interestingly enough, brings out the texture of the paper, which I don't think we really need. So this is basically again contrasting. Um, um, something like that. I have to go for a moment and ask someone. Uh, so you guys can hang out with the creepy dude. Oh, and then I'll tell you like the creepy dream that I have associated with all this like weird occult stuff and the reading I've been doing. All right, but for now on, I guess get hypnotized. Let the Twitter birds carry you into the hollow chest of a mystery that is a prison. I don't know. Trying to be poetic. All right, I'll be right back. All right. Now that I've counseled the oracle, um, all right. So I think I have a better idea of what the intention is behind it, what I want it to look like. or the oracles. Um, I'm gonna develop this and work off of this copy, but I'm not done yet. I want to give it that. Right now, maybe it looks a little too modern. I want to give it that old kind of like if you look up old medieval creepy paintings of like hell or demons and stuff, has a pretty interesting texture to it. I don't know exactly how I'm gonna get there, but I'm gonna attempt to do it. And what I'm gonna do first, hmm, is this, and we'll see if it brings me any luck. I'm gonna try to work a little bit with blend modes. Um, but at first, I am looking for a particular um, old, um, old, maybe dilapidated. Like if you, yeah, I know I don't want to give out my aces right away. Um, how about? Oh, come on. All right. Well, but this isn't because a lot of those medieval, infernal, demonic images were drawn on temple walls or in churches, and some of them were icons. Strangely enough, creepily enough. All right, and I'm not finding what I'm looking for yet. Flash. Here's more of an example of not coloring the art, but putting a certain feeling behind an image that's already there. And see, mm, none of this is really maybe, uh, yeah, it's not really giving me exactly what I want. Could try this. And I know I'm talking to myself right now, and you guys are like, what is she doing? Certainly not doing anything on the screen. I'm looking for a certain texture, is what I'm doing. And let's see, this could work, although this is kind of cruddy in its raw shape, but I think we can do something with it. All right, I think I can work with these two. Oh, what about this one? This isn't bad. Pretty minimal though. All right, so I'm going to show you. The big reveal is coming up. What I'm going to do here now, I'm going to drag a couple of layers I've downloaded from the internet into here. Um, and we're going to work with blend modes. But first, I'm also going to, of course, it opened everything separately. That's not what I asked it to do. All right, there we go. Thanks a lot. That makes perfect sense. Um, all right, so as you can see, and those of you who, oops, this is something else. Smart, you already know what I'm talking about. Really, come on. Why is that one so small? All right, should I just do it one at a time? Um, just one at a time. It's not smart. It is that small? Jeez, you're on Unsplash? You call yourself someone who uploads photos? Anyways, um, all right, let's try this one. And I'll show you what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to obviously rotate it. and then stretch it out. So this is going to give it, I'm hoping, subtle um, texture behind it, but we're going to work on top of that. These are going to be the initial stages. So I'm going to give it a little more roughness by just bringing it in like that. All right. So next step is going to be uh, putting that underneath and blending it together. Let's see what we have here. Just going through the blend modes for now. Some of it is cool, but not quite what I'm looking for. Um, a lot of great ones, but still, like I said, I don't want to. This is cool in its own weird way, but again, this is not what I'm going for right now. All right, so another thing we can do is, which in my experience, I have not seen that much difference with it. Um, but this is what we're going to try to do now. Switch the order. And like I said again, I don't usually see, although there's some interesting textures coming through. And all right, let's see. Something a little more washed up like that, uh, but not that much. All right. Now I'm gonna continue working with this. And my other favorite thing to do in order to give a painting, a drawing, anything, an art piece, um, this like subtle texture is what I do is put half tone and then you tweak it. Of course, there is no like one size fits all um, method. You always tweak everything according to its context and situation. So we're gonna do this, but I'm gonna go for color. But this isn't the end, my friend. Now we're gonna go through blend modes here and see if there's anything um, will bring us closer to that. Kind of like how the ink comes out or watercolor. Oh, I guess, yeah, I know you don't see where I'm pointing. But at the black tiles, kind of like how that comes out. But it might be bleaching it out too much, and then the black looks a little too blue, right? Um, this one a cool variation. Um, obviously, did it inverted it. All right, so a lot of this is really cool. Contrast negate is pretty awesome too, but it changed everything obviously. So I'm not gonna apply too much variety yet. But let me just quickly go through more of these. Um, so it's bleached out a little now, and we've lost the contrast in color. This isn't bad. Pin light, it's one of those I always choose. Um, I do like these inverted ones, but obviously it changes a lot. This is just creepy. which is also cool, but I don't want to lose any of obviously essential elements of the drawing. And black and white checker floor is clearly what needs to be there. Um, all right. So we'll keep it at this for now. But even now, I am not quite done. And what I think needs to happen also is that I should have done this before. And let me just mute this for a moment, and I can mute that too. And we'll stay with this here. And I'm gonna try to recolor it in a closer to sepia type of fashion. Obviously, not this fruity strawberry pink, but I'm gonna try to find like a dirty sepia would be nice. And I guess before we do this, let me just delete this and let's bring back the opacity to 100 so we can see what we're working with and grab a recolor again and try to find a dirty type sepia. Not so mustardy, um, but something kind of dark and kind of creepy. And I might even let me all right, um let's stop on this one for now. And let me just put this in here. All right. And I'm gonna create another layer. I'm gonna call it like, I don't know, ominous clouds. So working with subtleties now, I'm gonna grab a brush and I will choose from watercolor brushes. And let me see what we got here. I have like a really cool one that creates cloud like, or maybe this one. Um, so I'll choose black, make sure I'm on the right layer and crank up this is the biggest it can give me. All right. And so this is an experiment. And really, to apply one stroke of that, it took you that long. All right, I don't think this is the brush. Let me just see. Maybe this is the brush. This could be the brush, but it could be more opaque. What the? Sorry. Um, accidentally switched on the wrong layer. All right. So I'm going to kind of create a subtle, almost a vignette, kind of like handmade vignette. And all of this is going to be in the background. Um, so I could use a variety of um, brushes, obviously, but since this is an experiment and I'm not sure yet that I'm going to keep it like that, I just want to see if it kind of cradles. I know I should stop saying that kind of cradles, embraces. And what does vignette do? Basically, it brings the center out more. So you have the light in the center and it's darker at the edges. Sorry. All right. So um, this is what happened. Now we're gonna tweak all of this to make it look cohesive, because it is a little bit too red, right? Too dark, and we should probably just slowly introduce the sepia because I don't want it to be like too red. And now it's kind of overwhelmingly red a little bit, which I'm not that thrilled about, but we can work with that also. Um, all right. And I'm reading a lot of interesting occult type literature, or I guess esoteric, for the lack of a better word. And um, now I'm having all these dreams where these entities are visiting me in my dreams, telling me to back off or back away from trying to discover some information for my own personal use. I mean, I don't practice anything, but it's good to know that you are being really manipulated on such a profound, sophisticated, layered levels. It's like peeling an onion, like John Lennon said, glass in the glass onion. Just when you thought like, oh, so this is how it is, and then like there's a new layer. Oh, so it goes deeper and darker and more twisted, and you are manipulated on all the fronts. W- Just when you thought like, oh, I get a break here, it's not that easy. You don't get a break, and you are used for your attention, for your energy. Anyways, so I have these dreams now. I'm sure it's partially from maybe staring at this for too long, um, and also reading all these books on the side, and just having to get rid of like I saw this. It was partially a out of body experience, which makes it not just a dream, but a very real dream, real life dream. If of course you can call this life real. Um, let me see. Um, yes, I did not forget. I'm working on it too. Um, but so I had this little entity show up. It looked like a dwarf dressed in all black, hooded, standing in my kitchen next to the drafting table, which is not in the kitchen. I don't know why in my dream it was in the kitchen. And telling, actually, he wasn't talking at all. He was just creepily standing there, and I couldn't get rid of him. Like every time I told him to get out, I would say these words that I thought would trigger it to get out, and it didn't really work that well. I picked it up, I threw it out, and the moment I throw away the little midget, I close the door, I go back in the kitchen, and he's right there, as if I didn't even do anything. So, and there is some kind of terror, for lack of a better word, or frustration, to be constantly, repeatedly trying to get rid of something, and it's there. It's kind of like that story with the haunted house and um, bloody stain coming up, like a puddle of blood. I forget what story it was. Was it Sherlock Holmes or not? Don't quote me on that. Not Sherlock Holmes, but the guy who wrote it. I should know that. I'm a whatever. But anyways, woman, just shut up and finish the drawing. I know, but bear with me. to read. I'm still wondering if it's a little too contrasted now. Let me cancel this. Yeah, I know. Oh, you're unbearable. I know. Let me just duplicate it. So, anyways, there's this like a certain type of horror to try to get rid of something, and it keeps coming back. Um, all right, here's closer to the original. So, as I'm struggling to get rid of this midget wrapped in black with corpse paint all over his face, its face, and it keeps repeating, and I keep yelling at it, and I keep reciting the Bible, and I'm not very good at it. And I don't know why. Ever since I was a child, my grandma told me learn that the prayer, right? Father, our Father in heaven, that thing, but in Russian. I had to learn it. I never learned it. I could never remember it. I don't know what it is. In school, we had to learn so much poetry, and it was never a problem. And when it came to that prayer, I could never remember, make an effort to remember it or something. I don't know. It's kind of frustrating. Um, interesting. Anyways, kind of like this. See, everything needs tweaking. Um, where was I? So yes, so I'm struggling to get rid of this guy. And I'm throwing like Jesus at him, prayer. It's not working. Although in the past I did have a lot of dreams where some dark entity would come in and try to hustle me or drag me somewhere. They always try to drag you somewhere, and so I would like use the Lord's name, and I'm not a Christian, not like a practicing church going Christian, and I don't quite want to associate with that either. Uh, Not to say that I mean obviously there is something about the essence of Christ, and they fear it. They don't like it. Like darkness doesn't like that name, and sometimes it scares them. But I think there needs to be a really like 100% bulletproof conviction behind it. Faith, I guess, is another word for it. Um, that's too much. Although I could blend it in, so it all feels a little bit dark, which is not a problem. We can change that. Um, yeah, I definitely need that. Do I need this though? Yeah, it adds a little warmth, but it's not too overpowering, is it? Anyways, so I was struggling to get rid of it, and I think eventually I either woke up or I got rid of it somehow with some struggle, which I didn't quite like. But I kept in my dream, I kept reading a strange version of a Bible, which I wasn't reading any Bible any time like right now. I'm reading other books though concerning occult magic, but also like the alternative history of the creation of this mess. Anyways, but in my dream, I'm sleeping and I'm waking up, or and I look, there's a book in front of me, and it's a Bible, and I know it is, and it looks a lot like some old fashioned Bible, and it's inverted, like it's upside down. And I wake up and I'm like, why is it upside down? And so I put it in the right direction again, and again I pass out, and again I wake up. And now instead of the pages having printed words on it, there's just like a handwritten in blue ink list of things that say like back away, like don't do, like get out, stop doing this, whatever it is. Then I pass out again, wake up again to see that the Bible is all scratched up and like tore the front cover is torn off of it. I don't know. It's like I wake up with this unpleasant feeling of like being intruded upon and demanded something. Um, Something demanded something from me, and it's an unpleasant feeling, definitely. Um, and all of this is tied in into like working with this and reading what I'm reading, and something doesn't quite want to be. Certain aspects of this reality don't want to be exposed, or they pose themselves to be something else. I guess this is where the opposite, controlled opposition comes in, um, with a lot of conspiracy theories and all. And you have to be very careful which turns you take. And if you do take any turns, try to remember how you got there and how to go back in case you need to. Um, let's try this. Something about this is still not quite what I want it to be. So I'm gonna create another pixel and maybe call it like foreground. Anyways, once you start like getting into that, how we were created, where we come from, and it is a mess of information, and you got to be careful, and you can't quite be sold on everything you read or everything you hear. A lot of it, what they say, like truth will resonate with you, but even then, you have to be careful to see is it not a false vibration, or is it not like falsely resonating with you? Who is it resonating with? Your ego, or it's like um, in Russian we say like step to the right, step to the left, and you're shot. So like either way you go, you'll get shot. Um, it is used in slightly different contexts, but let's try this. Um, so all of this, and I had a before that another weird, creepy, very creepy dream of being in a haunted house and trying to console it, and it's like it's a haunted house that's being abused by a person that it lives in. It's really weird, and so it aggressively responds to that person, and the person is not even abusive, it's just neglectful, or yeah, something like that. I know it's all so strange, and you guys are like, what are you talking, who are you even talking to? I'm telling all of this to myself. I'm internalizing out into the public. All right, let's see. This is a little yellow, but perhaps we could incorporate it into everything. It's gonna be like more of a feeling, like you just will feel when it's right. There, it's right. The hue wasn't bad. These are too much. These are really cool, but they obviously change. Um, yes, change the context too much. Average is not bad, and hue isn't bad. I'm talking about blend modes. Let's go with this for now. Um, yes, and I might come back to that. What I'm gonna do now also is this. I just had an idea. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go here. No, I'm gonna go here. And you guys, what is she talking about? Who, where's she going? And I'm going to kind of see if this works. I want to bring out the character more in the center. And I'm wondering what I can do about it that would help bring it out. All right, well, first of all, let's just see what's happening with my clouds. Well, that makes a lot of sense. It applied the black, but I can't apply the white. Stop it. Come on, you can do it. Fine. What do I invert you? You want to be inverted? Sorry, I know. Who is she talking to? All right, let me just check it out. You probably don't see much of a difference because I don't even see much of a difference. But the clouds certainly help. All right, maybe I don't need to invert. Get rid of that. Let me just try it one more time. Ugh, why don't you just behave? Am I in a twilight zone? Opacity? Why is there opacity? Really? Now you're working? All right, let's bring everything back. Obviously, you can see what I'm doing. Um, yes. Just want to create that subtle aura around him. But I don't want to lose too much color either. See, it kind of like took away color. All right, so if I am going for that old-fashioned medieval look, I'm gonna have to work with vibrance too of the colors. Mhm. Come on. Go into selective color and let's try with greens first and give them more of a yellow. I don't know if it wants to work in blend modes. All right. Let I might just have to come back to it, but I do need to go now. Um, so, and did I finish all my creepy dreams? I'll tell you more about it later. All right, but for now, I'm gonna let you go, and I probably scared you a little bit subliminally, and also if you've stared at this drawing long enough, it might appear in one of your dreams. Don't be alarmed. Just wave your hand in front of it, and it will disappear. Just never be afraid. I know what kind of weird stream is this. Anyways, thanks so much for stopping by, clicking on stuff, supporting White Bread. We're on Instagram, White Bread Art, and I'm gonna go feed the hubby now. On this note, thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.